Oh, hi there, shipmates. Johnny Ray back again. In this video, I will be discussing the various ways to tie a standard bowline. This is not, I'm sure pretty much most of you would know already, but if you don't, this is a good video to watch. And even if you do already know this knot, you're going to learn a few more ways to tie it perhaps you don't already know. You start with a standard bowline. One easy way to make your loop in the bowline is to, in this case I'm left-handed, I'm making this left-handed, is to twist the rope counterclockwise. If you're right-handed, turn it clockwise and you hold it opposite. So you're just turning it, twisting the rope, working in. You just twist it till it makes a bite. You twist it counterclockwise to do this. And then you take your tail, pass it through your bite on the other side, around the standing part, and back through from whence it came. That's your basic bowline. Now, when I tie a bowline, I learned this trick from Lieutenant Bob Kearney, the fellow I trained as a rigger under, who is in the Merchant Marine since 1942. I imagine he's long since passed away now. He was in his late 70s when I knew him. And what you do is you start with standard bowline. Whoops, give it a little bit more line. Standard bowline, and you take your tail, pass it around and through the traditional way, but you give yourself a good tail. Again, I like to have at least a hand width of tail minimum in 3/8 inch line, larger line, and then you take your tail and you're going to tuck it around the back and up through. Now this knot probably has an official name. I only know it as a bowline with a tuck. That's what he called it. But so that way it solves the problem with the tail being in your way inside your bite. So this is just as strong as a regular bowline. It's just as easy to capsize and untie. I use this one especially if I'm going to tie an anchored bend to a ring. I'll do my anchor bend, and then if it's braided line like this, or if I don't have a fid to splice it, I'll just quickly tie this bowline with a tuck. That way it directs the tail out of the way. See, just like that. This is pretty much the standard way I tie a bowline these days. I just find it's a little bit better than the standard one just because it keeps the tail out of the way. Next up, so that's the way the scouts and different ones will teach you to tie a bowline, just to make your bite, pass your line round and through like that. But the thing is, sailors, we tend to use a different way. This is called a sailor's bowline. What we do to make our bite, we take the line, pass it back towards ourselves, over the line, and then flip it around like that, around the standing part, and back through. This is a very fast way to do this. When I was 14 years old in the SCC 112 Howe, Peterborough, Ontario, it's a Sea Cadet Corps, I did that in 1.14 seconds. It's a Canadian record that still stands as far as I know in Sea Cadets. But yeah, just take it around like that, flip it around, just like that, see? Very fast. An even faster way that was not allowed in competition, but one we used to use to show off to tourists, is you take your line, you make a loop, an overhand loop, outboard, take your, make a bite, pass it up through your loop like that. And this would normally be the standing part of your line. It could be quite long. And what you do, you take the bitter end and you pass it up through the eye. Now leave in as much as you want as your tail. And we used to take this, you take it around a bollard or a pole, post, spar, whatever, and put it through like that, and just give a quick tug on the other end. That automatically capsizes into a bowline. It's called a lightning bowline. This one is lots of fun for impressing tourists. And you know, it's a fast way if we used to use this when you're standing in the bow and you want to tie off really quick as the ferry's coming in. Take that and just toss her right around your pole up through, and just like that. Now normally I'd leave a little bit more tail than that. But again, this line is quite short, so it's hard to demonstrate this knot properly. But there you have the lightning bowline. And that's of the three. that I was going to show you. So I'll show you once more the way I make a bowline. Is I just pass it over, around like that, through, over, back under, and through, just like that. Oh yes, I was going to mention, a proper bowline has the tail should be on the inside of your loop, like this. That's a correct bowline, and you can tell because on the front it looks like a life preserver in the shape. Now there's what we call a cowboy bowline, which starts off the same way. But what they do, they pass around this way and out like so, so that the tail is outboard. And the problem with this one is it will work its way free, and a lot of people died over that one. That's not a proper knot. This was mistied as a bowline. So once again, that one, they go around this way and back out through, is the incorrect way to do this. Your tail should always be inboard, inside the loop. Thank you very much. Thank you once again. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll be doing another video on different variations of the bowline as I have time. And there are quite a few variations, so it'll be a bit longer video. Anyway, I wish you all a calm seas, a pleasant voyage, and a mermaid in every port. Have a good day.